I'm Danny Horn, head football coach at Central Clay County.
Paul Benefield, head football coach at Fife High School.
We're here with the legendary Coach Niblett from Hoover High School.
Robbie Coker, basketball coach, Plainview High School.
Coach Reginald Huff, I'm the head boys Washington basketball coach.
Ali Smith, I'm an interim head football coach here at Gas City.
Lee Stewart, associate head coach, basically director of basketball operations.
Bo Stewart, head boys, junior varsity coach, assistant varsity.
On an off day, a free time, when you don't have anything docketed on the schedule, what's your hobby? What's your getaway?
Well, I play golf a little bit. I'm not any good, but I play. But honestly, I can't do nothing. I don't know anything about cars. I can't build nothing. And honestly, this is basically my habit. And you know, I'm supposed to work. I'm on contract, and I'm supposed to work like half a day, but I'm up here all day, and just because I don't have nothing else to do, and I'll piddle around here, and I'll go home and piddle around there a little bit, and then, you know, it's time to go to bed. But really, this is my hobby, and my wife. I'm really scared to actually fully retire because I don't know what I do, honestly, and it scares me. Honestly, it does. And as long as I'm enjoying it, and as long as I've got good health, I'm gonna keep coaching.
As long as your wife's on board with it.
Right.
You know, when doing research for this this interview, I come across something that's really stunning. I'm gonna share with you, Coach. You're currently sitting at 282 wins with only 53 losses. That's an 84.2% winning percentage. That's actually higher than coaches like Danny Horn and Josh Niblett. That's pretty elite company if you look at it. Can you talk about the key ingredients, if there is one key thing that's got you to that point to winning at such a high level for such a long period of time?
Well, I think I heard Coach Horn say this on it. I watched one. I think y'all got a thing with him, and I was sitting there going, most of it I was sitting there going, that's all right, that's right.
He actually had high praises for you too, by the way.
Well, I think Coach Horn said something, and I was sitting there going, that's right. And the fact is, he hates to lose more than he likes to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the question of how you keep motivated, all this. And there's different things motivate me. There's the fact that everybody wants us to fall on our face. That motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the county, the people that really are Fife haters, not for the fact, no other reason other than we're winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand that, because I know when I was younger that the people that was winning I disliked the most. In my mind, I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
But we really give nobody that really, really wants to be honest about it. You have no reason to hate us, our kids. You may hate me, but our kids play with great integrity and sportsmanship, and they play hard, and it's just hard to find a reason to hate our kids. Now, if you want to hate me, then okay, but I guess I'm hateable. I don't know, but I think that's a fact that I really, I could tell you, I could name those 53 games that we lost that you just said that, and that sometimes, Donnie, I don't even understand you saying that. I don't even know when it happened or how it happened. I remember I was just trying to win one game at Sylvania. My first, I one game, 2 games, make the playoffs, and all of a sudden it's 27 years later. and we're like, my stat man back before Christmas said something like we're 180 something wins since 2001 and like 20 losses. That's 18 years, and I don't even understand that.
That's insane.
But I really do. You can get me fired up real easy by, and some little things that people might not think about fires me up. Maybe a kid in school that decides not to play. That sometimes, I want to win even more.
Mm-hmm.
especially if he's a pretty good athlete, and I just want to show, hey, we can win anyway, because we have a program. We don't have a one-man team. We are a football team, a program that works progressively to try to be good. And when somebody leaves our program, I feel like I want to be like an army, that if we're marching and one of us gets killed, you other two got to go on. Y'all can come back and grieve for me later. But we're not grieving for nobody quits. But that is just the way we approach everything. That next man up, and you know, we're not going to win 84% of our games probably the next 18 years, but we have the last 18.
That's awesome.
And I think that is a tribute to our kids and buying in and the work that we put in.
It's how you grow these men, not only, physically, spiritually, turn them into being men. And everybody commends you that. Everybody from Gadsden talks about that all the time. Could you go a little bit deeper into that? How that came
Well,
about?
I mean, I think our number one goal is every day you wake up, you have to ask yourself why. Why you do what you do. I can only answer for myself as far as a coach goes. Coach is a ministry for me, so it's always been important for me to impact people's lives. It's hard to believe that I've been coaching over 20 years. I can remember my first team in Aniana. I can remember when I was at Oxford. I can remember my first year here. And I think the key to it is when you wake up every day, like, what are you trying to accomplish? God's blessed me tremendously, so when I wake up every day, I'm trying to serve Him. I'm trying to seek Him and His purpose and His will and His plan for my life. And I just know it's to make an impact on other people's lives. So what can I do to give them energy? What can I do to give them positive reinforcement, but also when they need constructive criticism, And so I just think for me, I'm trying to develop great husbands and great fathers one day. Because football is going to stop. They can go to the pros.
That's right.
And they can play in the NFL for 10 years, but at some point in time, if they're still living, the ball's going to stop bouncing, and they got to have something to fall back on. And they're probably going to have a family. They're probably going to have money, and they're probably going to have another job.
That's right.
And they're probably going to have children. So what are you doing to help yourself there?
Steve, tell us what you admire most about your son.
The man he is. It's hard to talk without getting emotional. He's everybody's friend. He's a loyal friend. There's no ifs. Sometimes he's a lot like my dad, in that there's no gray area. I spend a lot of time trying to explain to him that it is. But what I admire the most of is the man he is, because he's as good a person as there is on the planet.
If you were not a basketball coach and a teacher and training these young men in your role, what other profession do you think you'd be?
My first love that I'm doing right now, and that's pastor.
When you look back on the amazing career that you've had at Litchfield and here in Kansas City, what do you think you're going to be most remembered by?
I hope I will be mostly remembered by the relationships of the kids that I taught and how I molded a lot of young men into being professional, successful in life. All of them didn't get there, but I think the majority of them did. And if just one of them got there, it was satisfying to me. But I think I will be remembered for the remarkable task that my coaching staff and I have done of winning right now 11 out of 12 area championships, which is almost unheard of. And people don't realize what we've done, and they won't realize it till we're gone, and it's not coming as easy as it is.
Lastly, Coach, what do you want these young men to take away from being coached by you to carry over into their day-to-day lives?
I hope they take that hard work pays off. I think that you realize they put a lot of work to get to be the players they are, and because of the work they put in, that's the reason they were successful. I hope they take that if they do things the right way and they work hard, good things will happen. And then being unselfish, I think it's a trait in this culture we live in today that goes unnoticed. Maybe we lack a little bit, and I hope they realize that if you sacrifice and if you're willing to make the right play, that the whole team can benefit from it. And I hope that they realize that that we live in a world that's not about me or I, it's about us, and I hope that their unselfishness continues to shine.
Tell us something about Coach Smith that's unique that the general people that's not around you every day wouldn't know that you do or enjoy.
Well,
You know, I like to sing to myself, but you know, I'm not a very good singer, but I do like to do that a little bit. So, you know, when the guys come in sometime, I like to sing a little bit, and then I throw a rap in there every now and then.
We noticed you have a lot of quotes like John Wayne and Vince Lombardi throughout this facility. What's your favorite quote in here? Do you have a particular one?
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
I like that.
And I really believe that.
I really like that.
I just believe the kids that work hard, really work hard. The term work hard is used way too much. Mm-hmm. What one school's work hard and another school's work hard could be
vastly different.
Vastly different. It could be. And our kids give up a lot of free time to do what they do here, and I just believe the harder they work, the more they sweat together, the more as I have said many times before, they have a common bond, and that is that they probably at some point in time hated my guts. So, you know, at least it was hating me and not each other. You know, you ride around, you make a bond with a buddy because, you know, you're not talking about some of your teammates, you're talking about me. That's okay, I can take it.
All right, Coach. When you hear the names Coach Huff in this county, everyone immediately thinks that Tenacious Press. Tell us your inspiration behind the press and where you personally learned how to run it so effectively.
I was coaching a lot of kids at Litchfield who they were very athletic, very small. They were tough, and they would work as hard as I wanted them to work. Had a relationship with those kids, and the first year I coached, we went 6-13, and I told the kids if they believe in me and they buy into what I asked them to do, we'd turn this thing around. And so that summer we stayed in the gym every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kids were there, they worked hard. That next year, we found ourselves in the state championship game with the ball and the lead with 22 seconds left. Fortunately, we turned it over on a missed layup, and the other team were down to hit a jump shot and beat us by 1. But it was a great turnaround, and it began a long line of legacy of guys that would come behind those guys and give me everything they got. And that was the only way that those guys knew how to play. So they taught me that pressure will bust a pipe. And we found ourselves winning ball games that we probably shouldn't have been in because we could play with pressure.
All right, when that final horn sounds and your coaching career comes to an end, what do you hope people says about Danny Horn?
Well, I hope they say that I was a hard worker and I was a fair man to work for, and I know what they're going to remember. They're going to remember the wins, and they're going to remember the championship, which is good. But I want them to remember me as a man that worked hard and a man that cared about them, and that loved them, and I was telling my wife the other day. We was coming back from somewhere. I forgot where we was coming back from, but I said, I want them to remember the good times, the winning, but I also want them to remember what kind of person I was, and what I tried to instill in them, to be better people and better citizens, and I mean they're the future of our country, and my motto is you try to be the best you can in anything you do, and I've always tried to do that. I'm cutting grass or taking out the trash, making your bed up. I mean, be the best you can be, and that's what I encourage these kids to do. Is don't be. The world is full of average people. You just got to do the little extra things it takes to get on that high level of success. And of course, I've been blessed with some good teams and some good coaches, but we're gonna always work hard and we're gonna always do the right things. And that's not to say we're perfect by no means, but I just want them to remember maybe I was a positive influence on their life.
Steve, when Bo was growing up, was there a moment in time that you sat back and said, "This guy's going to grow up to be a great coach"?
No, because I didn't know that he would accept that. It took 2 ACLs for him to come to light that, you know, the time would come that he wouldn't be playing, because like most kids growing up, he didn't foresee himself doing anything but playing.
We recently had Coach Huff on, and he talked about the importance of the community getting behind the program in order to reaching that next level and bringing that championship here to Gadsden City. I'm pretty sure you probably feel the same way as he does. What steps do you think needs to be taken to make that happen?
The first thing I think for Gadsden as a whole, I think that people in our community need to become more aware, get more involved, and see what's really going on. You know, secondhand information is one thing, but come out and find out what's really going on and see what people are really doing for our kids. If we as a community need to be more involved for our kids. You know, when you come into the city of Gadsden, on each end, it says City of Champions. And when you say City of Champions, you're not just talking about champions in the game of football, basketball, baseball, sports. For say, I'm thinking as City of Champions as people. So as people, you know, we got a city of 30,000, if not more. You know, we need to come, and there's never a time where our stadium shouldn't be packed in football. There's never a time our dang basketball gym shouldn't be packed. There's never a time our baseball field, our track, you know, come, you know, our band whenever they travel and things like that. For me, I think we got to get out here and we got to support our kids. It ain't about the adults, and for say, to me, it's about these kids, and we as the City of Champions. That's what we say when you drive in any part, when you get to Gadsden, and say, welcome to Gadsden, City of Champions. As people, we got to get together and support our kids in the right way, and let's do what's right by our children, regardless of anything else, and that's what it's about. And when we come together as one in that way, we'll be hard to beat in any aspect. We will be.
You know, you guys opened up with Pinson Valley's defending 6A state champs. St. John's was the top 5 team in the nation. IMG was the top 5 team in the nation. Then you play in the toughest region, arguably in America,
right.
7A Region 3. How does all that help your team get ready for the playoffs?
Well, even in January, when we start off-season workouts, I mean, it's all about getting ourselves ready for November. And so, you know, how do you allow yourself to get better for November? I mean, we may schedule some teams that, you know, we could beat, or, you know, and be undefeated at the end of the season, but I mean, that's not what our goal is around here. Our goal is to win championships. So what have we done to put ourselves in the best place possible, the best mental disposition we could be in going into the playoffs, and then what kind of confidence can we gain? And I think only through adversity is where you figure out what kind of team you got and what your makeup is.
Let's talk about your time at Ole Miss with Andy Kennedy. You guys are still remain close friends even to this day. Can you talk about your relationship with Coach Kennedy and what that's meant for your career?
Sure. AK's a man's man. He was really good to me, hired me at a young age, gave me an opportunity to work. He tells the joke they hired a video guy that didn't know how to turn on a DVD player, but that's not true. But it makes for a great story. And he just he really taught me a couple things. It really goes beyond basketball. His number one thing was never settling. You know, don't settle. A lot of times as human beings, we settle for what's easy. You know, really push yourself.
That's true.
Get out of your comfort zone. Try to get better. And then basketball-wise, he's so good offensively, man. He can figure out a way to score against anything. Defensively does a great job of keeping people off balance. It was just really good for me to see, you know, be there for 5 years and be able to see how he ran a program, how he coached guys differently, you know, how he dealt with administration, how he scheduled, you know, just the various aspects of running a basketball program. Is, you know, it was very, very rewarding, but it was also very informative for me and helped me as a coach moving forward.